What have we seen in terms of a Chinese military reaction to Tsai and McCarthy meeting?
Yeah, so I think one of the key things to look at that we had in August was we could physically see the zones that the PLA laid out for their military activity. One of the interesting things about, this time around is the PLA hasn't released quite as much information about where exactly they're operating. And they've broadly talked about encircling the island. I would say one of the things we haven't seen yet is the firing of the ballistic missiles over the island of Taiwan by the PLA rocket force. That was a major escalatory move in August and something that got a lot of attention. So far, we haven't seen that yet. What we've seen so far has been more simulated strikes. So in that sense, so far, maybe it's not quite as escalatory. But I would caution everyone to keep in mind this is still early on in this process.
China says that these drills are aimed at encircling the island and sort of performing a blockade operation. What does this mean, and what are we actually seeing?
So I think in the kind of contingencies that the PLA may have planned for something like this, a blockade would certainly be under consideration. I think depending on what the political objectives were in Beijing, and so I think part of these demonstrations this week are aimed at showing the different capabilities that the PLA has, whether that's to engage in something like a large kinetic blockade, or whether that's potentially to look more focus more on large scale strikes on key targets on the island. So there's a lot of what the PLA is trying to do here to show kind of a diversified kind of portfolio of capabilities.
What can Taiwan do in terms of defending against this sort of aggression?
I think it's really important not to miss the bigger picture, which is what these kinds of exercises might do beyond this week or this month. And so one of the things that we saw from August was it really normalized a lot of uh, high profile kind of escalatory activity by the PLA, crossings of the Taiwan Strait median line. That was really normalized after the August 2022 exercises. And so I think China here is going to again try to push things further. Maybe not in the exact same ways that they did in August, but I think that they're going to try to leverage this and exploit this as an opportunity to push things further in their favor and to normalize some of the activities that they want to see. I think one of the things that they may be trying to normalize is some of this more uh, inspection activities, inspecting ships in the Taiwan Strait and trying to assert China's control over some of the maritime traffic in the Taiwan Strait. So I think long term, that's something that worries me. And so, as people watch this week, I would just say to keep in mind the long term potential ramifications of this.